doing that too.
So there's hope.
Again, my name is Jeanette Doran. Is there time for more questions? Or?
Got time for one more.
Okay, I don't know if this is something that you would, as Supreme Court Justice would, for North Carolina, would rule on. But in Randolph County here, we have not voted on a bond referendum since, I think it's back in the 80s. So all of the debt that we have incurred in Randolph County is for certificates of participation.
Yes.
And I know that comes through the court. Does that come through the Supreme Court?
If it were litigated, it would go before the Supreme Court. Eventually, assuming that it sort of got appealed, it could.
Okay, and I know this was one of the things that we had asked Barbara Jackson, and she couldn't say either way, but that's one of the things of getting around the taxpayer, because we didn't vote for all of this debt that we have. Is there any way that you can give an opinion on certificates of participation?
I don't think I can give you an opinion on certificates of participation. What I can do is tell you that when the state constitution was amended in 2004 to do away with the right of people to vote on tax increment financing bonds, TIF bonds. How many of you remember that at all? But voters were basically misled into amending the Constitution so that on TIF bonds, which is a type of junk bond, they would no longer get a chance to vote on those. They were used to build the Brandy Parton Theater up in Roanoke Rapids. I represented a taxpayer in a lawsuit challenging that, and we took it all the way up to the Fourth Circuit. We were not successful, but I think that would give you a fair view of sort of my thoughts on that. And there are also some papers that I published when I was with NCICL that are still available that talk about substantive positions on lots of different issues. Common Core, we released several papers last summer on that, and lots of other issues that now as a candidate I couldn't comment on, but if anybody was poking around, it would not be difficult to find my position on lots and lots of issues, whether it's Obamacare, which wouldn't go before the Supreme Court, or cases that I litigated. That's certainly out there.
Okay, time for one more question.
Is there any way that we could get that reversed?
Which?
The tax thing.
The amendment to the state constitution? Yes. Well, the state constitution could be amended again.
Okay.
That could certainly be done. Folks, I have some material at the table over there. My website, this is my family. The other side is me, with the law books that Judge Stroud was telling you about. And I put some of those over there. My website is JeanetteForJustice.com. I would really appreciate your vote in May and again in November, and your prayers for myself and the fellow candidates who will be driving all over North Carolina in the coming months. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.